Okay, there's the follow me. This knockoff needs to one-shot him. I need this to one-shot him. Does. That's huge. That's a huge KO on turn 1. Please get the Trick Room taunt, please. Safety goggles, okay. Show me Trick Room. Show me Trick Room on this. I think that's what he's trying to go for. He wants to step the manual Trick Room. There it is. There it is. What is up, everybody? Back with some more Pokemon Scarlet Violet Regulation G VGC. We got one of my teams here today. It's actually a team around Rayquaza for the Regulation G ranked ladder. This is probably my best team I've made so far, which really isn't saying that much, just mainly because a lot of my teams haven't really been doing very well for Regulation G. I don't know if it's really my team building or if it's just Regulation G as a format overall, and a lot of stuff I want to use just isn't really good into like the top 3 to 5 restricteds that are being played with the most usage. So, but that being said, it's probably one of my better teams. It's actually a team around Rayquaza and a bunch of other really cool stuff. Chien-Pao, Volcarona, Regigigas, Weezing, and a few other things. So, if you guys like the video, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. If you guys want to use this team, rental code up in the corner, pokepaste down below. I'm going to kind of go for like an in-depth breakdown of the team, so I'll probably throw a timestamp on screen for you guys right now if you just want to skip to the matches. We actually featured all the restricteds currently on the channel as well, so what you guys are going to be seeing if I do upload like VGC going forward, I'm going to try to find some stuff. Either it's going to be my teams that I'm kind of making, I'm going to feature some of my teams for you guys so you can use them and that type of thing. Or like the stuff going forward is kind of stuff that I've kind of just find interesting, like some really cool pairings, like combos for VGC, like alongside some of the restricteds that can make them really good, or like specific Pokemon that are actually really good in the restricted format that hasn't really seen like any usage overall in like the past formats until restricted. They have either feel like a specific niche or something like that. So it's kind of what I'm gonna be throwing you guys away in the next, like going forward. So apologize if it's kind of a little bit more boring going forward with a lot of these VGC sessions, just mainly because I think Regulation G is just kind of boring. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of really bored of it. I don't really care for like team building in it at all and playing it at all. So, is that probably, I don't know if it's gonna be like a team I make, but this is one of the teams, probably one of my last teams I'll make, at least for a little while. I don't know what else I'll be making. I want to make a team around Terrapagos. That'll probably be the next thing I do make. As for right now, it's probably going to be the last team I make for a little while. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to kind of break this team down for you guys. There's a lot of stuff here as well. If you guys want to use this team, rental code in the corner, pokepaste down below. If you guys have a YouTube you guys want to feature this team on, just give me some credit in the description or whatever. That's going to be fine as well, because I know there's a lot of other content creators that watch my videos. There's actually a team around Rayquaza. Rayquaza is actually a really solid restricted currently. It's something that everybody's kind of really under-prepped for, and not many people are considering it really that much of a threat currently. Nobody's really prepared for like E-speed, like priority spam and that type of thing. And I think it hits really, really hard, especially if you're able to set up a dragon, or not a sword stance with it, and just be able to spam Dragon Descent and E-speed. Terra Normal is pretty good because you're able to resist Calyrex, and you pretty much one-shot it most of the time with Dragon Descent as long as it's not Sash. So, got a few other things in the team that are also really cool. The Weezing is also really cool right now. It shuts down a lot of crucial abilities. A lot of the restricteds really rely on their abilities, the ones that set up weather. There's a few other ones that kind of rely on their abilities to get stat boosts, like Zamazenta or Zacian, and a few other ones that are also really reliant on their abilities. There's also a lot of other really common Pokemon right now that actually rely on their abilities, like Incineroar with the Intimidate, any terrain setters, including restricteds. There's a lot of those going around, Rillaboom, Miraidon, Indeedee, that type of thing. And there's also a bunch of other prankster Pokemon that rely on Prankster to actually get their tailwind up or be able to do stuff, and not having that ability makes them a lot slower and allows them to not really do much and have pretty much useless ability because they're just kind of relying on their base speed and they don't have the priority, which could be pretty good. So you got the Regigigas on this team with the Life Orb. So overall, it's kind of really standard set with the Terra Ghost, just mainly to dodge the fighting type moves. Crush Grip is actually a really solid move. It actually does more damage based on the amount of health the opponent has. So if they're at like max HP and they have like full HP bar, it's going to do a max amount of damage to them, which usually, like even like neutrally, one-shots most things. It one-shots Tornadus, I think like every single Tornadus build, unless they're like max defense, max HP, which is like never. you like one-shot Crush Grip with the Tornadus on like turn 1 most of the time. So there's a few other like things that like get hit for neutral damage and just get either take like 90 or like almost 100% from it and they barely live, or they just get flat out one-shotted by Crush Grip on like first turn. So it's all really strong. I think Rayquaza is really strong in the format currently. I threw the Volcarona on this team. I wanted a fire type on this team mainly because this team kind of struggled a little bit with steel types. This kind of coverage for my fire coverage also gives me a water type on this team with the Terra. Mainly what this Volcarona is just mainly so you have the Covert Cloak. A lot of people like to fake out Volcarona on like the first turn so it doesn't sit up and just try to double into it or kind of put it on the side and kind of forget about it for the first few turns. Either that or try to lower its stats with stuff like Snarl and that type of thing. With the Covert Cloak, you can actually dodge a fake on the first turn from stuff like Rillaboom and Incineroar, and just be able to set up a Quiver Dance. And you also have Terra Water there, mainly for stuff like Urshifu to live hits defensively from that type of stuff. And it also gives you Terra Blast Water, which one-shots Incineroar, I think at +1. And there's a few other things that also one-shots. I think Groudon does a shit ton of damage into as long as they have no Sun. Giga Drain might do a little bit more, but if they have no Sun, if you're alongside like the Weezing, for example, and they have no Sun, Terra Blast will do more because it's higher base power and stab if you Terra. So there's a few other things too that's pretty good into, just mainly for coverage. Other fire types that you can't really hit very well. A few other things. And you got the Fiery Dance on there to get that +1 boost and really solid damage. Chien-Pao just really standard. It's probably the same Chien-Pao set I think I've ran in for a long time already. Focus Sash, Terra Ghost, just overall really standard set. Just pair alongside the Rayquaza, or mainly alongside the Rayquaza. You can also bring it by itself if you really need to, and it can be put in some work. And then you got the Flutter Mane on this team, which actually is kind of really cool. This Flutter Mane is actually a speed booster Flutter Mane with Imprison. A lot of the Flutter Manes right now are actually not running speed booster. They're actually running Focus Sash or like even like other items. Not many are actually running speed booster. The ones that are usually are on like weather teams alongside a Groudon or a Cryogon, which you can kind of deal with by either using the Rayquaza to get rid of the weather or the Weezing to neutralize those abilities. And you can actually pop a booster energy, outspeed opposing Flutter Manes and go for an Imprison and pretty much make them pretty much useless. I think the only other move that you might not be able to Imprison is Icy Wind. That could maybe be common. But apart from that, I think you can kind of shut down any opposing Flutter Mane with this set as long as they're not booster energy, which is kind of cool because otherwise it seems a little bit weak to Flutter Mane. So that's kind of why I threw it on here. It's also really cool for just a few other things. There's a few other mons that are actually kind of running the same type of move sets currently. So you can kind of predict some moves and go for Imprison and maybe shut that type of stuff down. I don't have Trick Room on this Flutter Mane instead of like Dazzling Gleam or something on here just to kind of Imprison Trick Room because this team's mainly priority based, so you don't really have to worry too much about Trick Room. You can kind of get around it based with priority. So it's kind of the team. I don't think this team is incredibly good. I think I got this team to around about 1250, 1300, something a little over 1300 on the ladder. I made it in game. I've had it in game for about 2.5 weeks now. I've kind of used it a little bit on the ranked ladder. Hasn't really been doing the greatest, but at least overall, it's probably been the most solid team I've made for Regulation G out of all the teams. So I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. Let's hop in some matches. Alright, we hear the game. We're actually going against Sable Live VGC. If you guys don't know who this is actually another bigger content creator on YouTube. So this is going to be like a high stakes game. They're actually using one of their, I think there's actually a team they made. They're actually featuring currently on their channel. So they might actually be recording this. So if they are, shout out to him. Sable Live if you watch this and end up seeing this, or anybody else that's from his channel. He has the Dialga, Amoonguss, Urshifu, Incineroar, Cresselia, and then Blood Moon Ursaluna. So, what do I want to do here? I think he 100% he brings Ursaluna here. The good thing is I'm priority, so like I don't really give a shit too much about Trick Room. I think actually just bring the Weezing Regigigas lead here is actually really good. I have Taunt on the Weezing to kind of stop the Amoonguss if he wants to do anything. I can stop Trick Room with Taunt. I'm going to bring the Rayquaza in the back. The only thing about the Rayquaza here is like it gets walled by a Dialga. That's kind of the main thing, so I don't know if I really want to... It's going to be really tough to bring it this game, but I think I kind of want to bring it anyways here. I could also bring the Volcarona, which ain't too bad. I'm going to bring the Chien-Pao. I'm going to bring the Chien-Pao instead. I need the damage from the Chien-Pao. I need it to try to deal with some stuff, because like the problem with this Rayquaza on this team, especially in the Dialga, which is one of the bad matchups for it, is just like you have decent checks for it, like you can deal with it like with the Weeze and the Regigigas and stuff, and kind of whittle it down that way, but the main problem is like I have flying and normal type moves, and I get walled by steel types, so he just leaves Dialga too. Unfortunately, this team's actually kind of bad into Dialga. That's kind of one thing this team's actually kind of bad into. It's mainly because you don't really have much for it, and the main thing you have for it is the Volcarona, but like he has a bunch of checks to the Volcarona, so I didn't really want to bring it here, just mainly because if he sets up Trick Room, it's kind of useless. I can't really set up with it unless worrying about Trick Room. So, I don't know. I think I could go for Will-O-Wisp, but I think he's probably special. I'm actually gonna go for Taunt here. I'm gonna go for Taunt. I could Protect here too, also predicting a Fake Out, which would be pretty good. I think I'm gonna do that here. I'm gonna predict a Fake Out on this turn. I think he actually has this team on his channel, so if I was a scumbag, I could actually go. He actually just goes for Flare Blitz. He just bypasses the Fake Out. So if I really wanted to, I could probably actually go look at his entire team, because I think he actually posted this team on his channel. Either it might be a different one. It might be a different one. So I could make a nice play there and actually get the Trick Room, so he's not able to go for that here. I'm actually going to go for Will-O-Wisp here. I'm actually going to predict him to switch. I'm going to predict him to switch out here, either into the Amoonguss or into the Crest, and I want to get a Will-O-Wisp off. And then I'm going to Crush Grip here. It's going to stay in. Okay. That does a lot of damage. It's not Citrus. He just goes for Draco. I'm dead. I live. Barely. He just doubles into the Weezing. That's kind of what I was scared of here too. That's why I maybe should have protected the Weezing. That probably would have been a better play. Because I would have got a bunch of free damage here. And now he gets Intimidate on me for free, so the Regigigas is pretty much useless. I'm actually in a decent spot here though. I can go into the Rayquaza now and actually set up. I can actually go into Rayquaza here and set up if I really want to. He's at -2, so like unless either he switches here or like he's mixed. He's a mixed Dialga, which I don't think so. Or he has Will-O-Wisp on the Incineroar, which could also be a thing. But I'm actually gonna Terra Normal here. I'm gonna Terra Normal and I'm gonna go for Swords Dance on this turn. And then I'm actually gonna go for Stomping Tantrum here. I think I made a misplay this last turn. What I should have did is I should have protected on the Weezing. I didn't think he was going to double into the Weezing though. I'm the fastest thing here. Okay. Forgot about Slow Start. Goes for, that's a -2 Draco. That still does so much damage though. He outspeeds the Regigigas. Okay. That's crazy. I didn't think he was gonna even. I know I have Slow Start, but like I'm really surprised he actually outsped me. Usually, like he's running a decent amount of speed. He has the Ursaluna here. I think on this next turn, his Taunt runs out, so he doesn't know I have Protect, so I'm going to Protect here. I don't really give a shit if he gets rid of the Regigigas here, if I'm being real. I think what I actually need is damage into the Dialga. I think that's what I really need here. I could go for Knockoff, too, to try to get rid of his Flame Orb, but I think he's going to Protect here. He's going to try to get rid of the Rayquaza on this turn, so... Unless he has Vacuum Wave too. I don't know. Does Ursaluna get Vacuum Wave? I'm not sure. Flash Cannon. See how much this actually does. It's probably going to do nothing to him. That does legit nothing. That does nothing. Earthquake. Yeah, he goes for Earthquake because he has Telepathy, so... Doesn't do nearly enough. I don't know, it's gonna be a 50-50 turn on this next turn here. What I can actually do here is I can actually make a play and actually switch the Regigigas out into the Chien-Pao on this turn to get the defense drop and then try to just one-shot the Ursaluna from this range. That's one thing I can try to do here, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I think I still just lose the Rayquaza anyways, and like keeping the Regigigas around, like, it's just worthless at this point, so. It depends on his last Mon. Like, whatever his last Mon is, I think is what's going to be, kind of wraps up this game. Because I'm going to go for E-Speed here, but if he protects, predicting me to do this on this turn, like, I just automatically lose, so. My play here, though, and I'm also probably going to break my Sash. If this does not kill him, it's +2 E-Speed from a Rayquaza, but, like, this is from full health. I don't know if it's going to one-shot him from this range. It actually does. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. I think I'm still dead here, though. Unless he goes into the... He does get the Trick Room, but that's fine. That's fine, I don't care. That worked out really well. That actually worked out really well. He actually has Urshifu. Is this a slow Urshifu? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if it really matters here. Like, what's going to happen here is, like, he's going to have to go for... He either goes for Draco or... I think he has Flash Cannon is what his other move was. So what's going to come down to here is, like, if the Urshifu goes for Protect, and if I double into the Urshifu here, I think I just instantly lose, so... I'm forced to E-Speed here. Like, I'm forced to go for E-Speed on this turn. I could Protect here, too, but, like, if he's... I don't know. I got a Sucker Punch here, I think. I got a Sucker Punch. He doesn't Protect, so I wish I would have actually doubled into Urshifu, because he might be Sash. He's not. That's huge. That's a huge KO. See how much that does. That does a solid amount. Flash Cannon, okay. It's fine. The Rayquaza can drop. That's fine. It doesn't really do much more for me here anyways. Like, an E-Speed at +2 would do a decent amount, but now it's a 2v1 and I still have my Sash, so I'm looking pretty good here. And, like, we know his entire moves. So he has Trick Room, probably Protect, Flash Cannon, and Draco, so... Like that, or I think they also might carry Earth Power for Incineroar too sometimes. I just go for Stomping Tantrum here. I go for Stomping Tantrum, I think I just spam Sucker Punch. There's no drawback of just not spamming Sucker Punch here the entire time. I actually outspeed him under Trick Room, that's crazy. So the slow start actually helped me this match in a Trick Room matchup, that's crazy. I didn't think I was going to win this. I played really well. I had one misplay on that first turn, but it ended up not really mattering that much, so... GG's, bro. I don't know if you end up seeing this. But if you do, GG's, or anybody else that happens to see this from his channel. Not bad. Starting this out, and I'm actually going against the other content creators on the casual ladder. That's really cool. It's really rare that happens. I've only found a few other like content creators when I've actually been recording, so... It's really cool. GG's, bro. Top into another game. Alright, we're here with another match. My opponent's running another, like, Trick Room team. So we're going against all the Trick Room teams tonight. He has the, Calyrex Ice, Brute Bonnet. Just really weird. I don't know, it's kind of weird on this team, just mainly because it's not in the sun. I guess it works under Trick Room, but still. Indeedee, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, Hatterene, and Chi-Yu. So he has, like, a faster kind of mode on his team. He also has, like, a Trick Room mode, so... I think what I actually do here is I lead Weezing Regigigas again is just really good here. It's just mainly good because I'm able to taunt whatever wants to set up the Trick Room, and like if he has Hatterene, I'm pretty sure like Crush Grip just one-shots it, so. Like if he has the Brute Bonnet, like I can just go for taunt, and I'm pretty sure I outspeed Brute Bonnet, so. It's a pretty solid lead here again. I think I just bring the same 4. Like I think I just bring the same 4 as I did last game. There's no reason for me to bring Volcarona here. It gets destroyed by like half his team. Same with the Flutter Mane. Like it doesn't really do much here. Especially if he has Trick Room. Like it doesn't do anything on Trick Room, so. I think that's the best 4 I can bring. If you guys are enjoying the video, leave a like, subscribe, share the video, really appreciate it. Really helps out the channel, lets me know you guys are enjoying the videos, and I'll keep on bringing some more Regulation G content your guys' way. Yeah, she just leads with this, so that's perfect. Like, what the question here is, though, which thing on this side is going to actually be setting up the Trick Room, like, which one has Trick Room? Because if I taunt the wrong thing on this turn, then I'm actually in a really bad spot, so... I think what I'm going to actually do here is... We'll see if he actually has an item first. Usually they run Psychic Seed. Another thing to note, too, is Neutralizing Gas actually does not shut down Calyrex's ability. He's not even... Okay. I was going to say, he's not... I forgot... I don't know if he's Psychic Seed or not, because I forgot I'm Neutralizing Gas, so he doesn't have his Psychic Terrain up. I'm going to go for Taunt here, onto the Calyrex for this turn. And then I'm going to go for Knockoff onto the Indeedee. Okay, there's the Follow Me. This Knockoff needs to one-shot him. I need this to one-shot him. Does. That's huge. That's a huge KO on turn 1. Please get the Trick Room taunt, please. Safety Goggles, okay. Show me Trick Room. Show me Trick Room on this. I think that's what he's trying to go for. He wants to step the manual Trick Room. There it is. There it is. Nobody's prepared for this, like, this duo. I think Regigigas Weezing is just really, really good because, like, there's so much stuff that really relies on its abilities. Like, you just can, like, they have no Psychic Terrain now. Like, they legit have no Psychic Terrain here. Like, I guess I have Sludge. I can go for a Will-O-Wisp here, actually, onto the Calyrex. That's what I'm going to try to do. And I don't know if Crush Grip is actually more... does more... I think Crush Grip probably does more to Hatterene because its defense really isn't the greatest. Can withdraw. Okay. I can't go for, like, Taunt onto the Hatterene just mainly because... Okay, you're going to be getting Will-O-Wisps. That's fine. Just mainly because it has Magic Bounce. That just one-shots the Hatterene. Yeah, he's at a loss at in this match, y'all. He is at a loss here because, like, I'm just one-shotting everything. And now this thing gets Will-O-Wisp, so that's huge because this thing's probably physical. Probably has, like, Sucker Punch and Seed Bomb or whatever. And, like, with the Neutralizing Gas, too, like, he doesn't get his Protosynthesis boost if he gets Booster. Like, it's at this point in the game, it's really difficult for him to actually take out the Weezing at this point. It comes down to what I really want to taunt here, though. Like, what do I actually want to get rid of? Because I can taunt the Calyrex here, but, like, then he's going to be able to spam Spore. I think that's the bigger problem here, so I'm actually going to taunt the Brute Bonnet here. And then I'm actually going to knock off onto the Calyrex. Rage Powder, okay. I guess that's fine. At this point in the game, though, like, I don't really care if he goes for he has Rocky Helmet, so he's actually a defensive Brute Bonnet. That's really weird. Okay. I don't really give a shit if he really goes for Trick Room in this point in the game, because, like, I still have Rayquaza and Chien-Pao at full health. And, like, I don't think there's any way that he one-shots Weezing without a boost, so... What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go for Will-O-Wisp onto the Calyrex. I could Sludge Bomb the Brute Bonnet here, but I think I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. I'm going to hope he's not Terra Fire. I'm going to hope he's not Terra Fire, and I'm going to go for Will-O-Wisp here. I could Crush Grip too here as well, which wouldn't be too bad. I don't know if he actually one-shots me from this range, so I'm actually going to Protect, because I think the Brute Bonnet's going to try to go for damage on me. I think he's going to try to get the KO on the Regigigas on this turn. Glacial Lance, okay. He's no Terra either. No Terra Fire. I should be able to easily tank this. Does a lot of damage, though. Seed Bomb, okay. That's why I wanted to Protect, because I thought he would probably double into the Regigigas to try to get a boost. Land the Will-O-Wisp, that's huge. Threat neutralized. I think on this turn I can maybe even protect the Weezing here if I really wanted to. Like, I kind of just want to stall at his Trick Room turns if I really can. Or, like, get him as low as possible. It's not really that big of a problem because, like, I have priority in the back waiting still. Which I can, as long as I get rid of the Brute Bonnet at least and make it a 1v2, like, I can still win. So, like, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to Sludge Bomb the Brute Bonnet to try to get it out of here, and then I'm going to knock off. If I can somehow live. He has close combat, okay. I live on 12. That's crazy. I didn't think I was going to live that. He gets rid of the Regigigas, though. That's fine. So now the Calyrex is at -1 defenses. That's great. And I still have my Amoonguss here, too. Or not my Amoonguss, my Weezing. I know I saw Brute Bonnet on the other side. I thought it was a Amoonguss. I think the only shitty thing here is, like... I think I'm gonna go into Chien-Pao here. I could go for double protect, but like the problem with that is like his taunt turns will actually run out, and then he'll end up spamming Sleep Powder or Rage Powder again. I think that's kind of the only main problem here. I'm gonna go into the Rayquaza on this turn and actually just protect the Rayquaza and try to get the Brute Bonnet out of this on this turn. I don't think there's any way, like, even if he doubles into the Weezing here, that he kills me from this range. So, like, I'm just gonna go for Sludge Bomb onto the Brute Bonnet here, and I'm gonna protect on this turn. Goes for Sucker Punch, okay. Does a Glacial Lance kill me, though? Like, you're at -2 attack now because of the burn. Doesn't. This is how you deal with Calyrex, y'all. If you're playing this team, this is how you exactly deal with the Calyrex. You gotta burn it and you gotta fucking neutralize it and do not let it get any KOs on you at all. You gotta stall the Trick Room and then you gotta just try to play around and get chip damage and let the Trick Room turns and like the Will-O-Wisp kind of chip damage it down. So now I'm in a decent spot here, like I'm just gonna protect the Weezing here. He could go for close combat here, but like I don't think close combat one-shots me at all. So I'm just gonna go Terra Normal E-Speed here. Just for chip damage. I have Chien-Pao in the back too. If I really wanted to, I could probably switch into the Chien-Pao here. But like I think the Weezing just staying in is still really good. Just mainly because I don't want him to get a KO or like break my sash. See how much this actually does. Does a solid amount of damage with no Chien-Pao. He's gonna go for Glacial Lance. That should not do that much. That doesn't do that much. That's why I didn't want to go into Chien-Pao, because he'd break my sash. I kind of wanted to try to get some more chip damage on him, especially with the Will-O-Wisp burn here. Kind of brings him a lot lower. Now what I can do on this turn actually is I can actually... Yeah, he runs on Trick Room here, so... I'm actually going to withdraw the Weezing here and go out into the Chien-Pao. And then from this range, as long as he doesn't protect, I think an E-Speed from this range should 100% get the KO and he just surrenders. Not even bad. Fuck Calyrex. I hate Calyrex. This team has a number of ways you can play around Calyrex. Like, you just have to play this team really well. This game we got really lucky. We were able to like get rid of the Psychic Terrain with Neutralizing Gas. Get that huge one-hit KO on the Indeedee turn 1. So it was not able to set up Trick Room, and then we were able to get the taunt onto the Calyrex on that turn 1, so he was not able to set up his Trick Room that early on. That was huge as well. And then we were able to outspeed on the next turn, actually just one-shot the Hatterene with the Crush Grip. Those two, the first 2 turns of this match, kind of just threw the entire game in my favor there. My opponents really had nothing else to really kind of do, and especially when I was able to get a Will-O-Wisp onto the Calyrex. I think it was kind of done at that point. So... really solid game. This team has a lot of potential. Like, I think this team is really, really good. You just got to play it really well. I think the only thing this team maybe has a little bit of a weakness into is Urshifu Dark. Could be a little bit of a problem. Same with both Urshifus. They're kind of a problem, but it depends on what team they're on and kind of what comp they're with. But you can play around and there is answers. But this team, that's kind of one thing this kind of struggles with a little bit. There's a few other, like, restricted as well. Like, every single team is not going to have, like, a perfect matchup into every single restricted, but and overall, like, from the majority of them, like, you have a pretty solid matchup and you have ways to answer majority of them, so in that case, it ain't really that bad. Let's hop into another game. Alright, we have another match. My opponent's actually running a really cool Regulation F team. They have these Skelly, Dirge. I think they're running, actually, starter shenanigans with Grass Pledge and Fire Pledge. I think that's what this maybe is. He has the Skeleturge, Sceptile, Fluttermane, Ogerpon, Ting-Lu, and Arclodon. Arclodon, funny enough, is actually kind of a threat to this team, just mainly because it's a Steel Dragon type, similar to like Dialga. So you kind of struggle with it a little bit, and mainly because it has stamina, so you keep giving it a defense boost. So that's kind of going to be a problem here. So I need to kind of bring something mainly for the Arclodon here. What do I want to bring? The Volcarona, actually Terra Water Volcarona actually ain't too bad into his team. It's actually pretty solid. I'm actually going to try to bring Volcarona, and we're going to try to bring that this game. I'm going to bring the Volcarona. What else do I want to bring here? I guess Fluttermane ain't too bad either as like a lead, especially if he has his own Fluttermane. I can kind of just go for Imprison and kind of make it useless. I think I'll bring Fluttermane lead here. I'll bring the Rayquaza and I think Chien-Pao in the back. I think that's what I bring here. If I need to, I can try to go Terra Water, but it depends what he really brings. I'm not really too... Like, another reason why I'm also Terra Water on the Volcarona as well, just mainly for Ogerpon. You're able to eat an Ivy Cudgel, and if you can get set up to, like, +1, you're doing so much damage into them if they don't Terra, that is. With like Fiery Dance, and if they do Terra, you're able to get Giga Drain and get like a shit ton of health back. So he actually leads with this, so this tells me that he's running like Water and Grass Pledge stuff. That's what this shit is, or Fire and Grass Pledge. So the Volcarona here, I'm not really too scared of what he wants to do here. I don't really care actually. I think I just set up a Quiver Dance here, and then I just Shadow Ball on this first turn. I think this might have a chance to just one-shot him, depending on his build. Doesn't do nearly enough, but whatever. There's the Grass Pledge. There's the Fire Pledge. It doesn't do anything. Wow, that does nothing. Well, I forgot it actually gives you a secondary effect, that's why. I know it's been forever since I've went against this, so kind of really cool, but now I get a free setup move. It's really weird, the Skeleturge actually outsped this Volcarona. This Volcarona is running a shit ton of speed, so it's really weird, unless he's running like... It's not Scarf Skeleturge. Okay. I don't know how he outsped me. I don't know, I'm at +1, so I'm just gonna Fiery Dancer. He might be Sash Sceptile, but I don't care. He did D-Tex, whatever, that's fine. I wish I would've, if I knew that, I would've went for another, he's double protects, okay? I really wish I would've went for Quiver Dance again, that was really ballsy of him. If I would've went for another Quiver Dance, like, he's about to get swept. Or he would've got swept if I did. I never did, though. I think he just wants the chip damage from this. It's not enough to get the KO, though, like, that's the problem he's having. And like even with leftovers, like unless he goes for Terra here, like he's still not gonna live. And I just Fire Dance again. Like he's forced to switch or go for a Terra. That's fine. I don't really care. Like I don't know what he has to one-shot Volcarona, especially at like +1. Like there's no way you one-shot me here with like anything, unless he has like Rock Slide. I think Sceptile maybe gets Rock Slide as like coverage, I think, or Rock Tomb, but I doubt it has it. Draw, what do you have? Arclodon? Go into Arclodon. Ting-Lu. Okay. Can I get a Spit F drop here? That'd be great. Because that does nothing. No Spit F drop. Are you Sash Sceptile? You're not. Okay, that doesn't matter. Get out of here. He might actually just double protect on this next turn too. I wouldn't be surprised. He actually has his own Fluttermane. Or if he's not Speed Booster, I Imprison here. He's not Speed Booster actually, so he could also just protect here. That could be also another thing what he does. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm actually going to go Terra Water. I think Terra Water is actually really good here. I'm going to set up a Quiver Dance. I don't even know if it pays going for Imprison because he could also just protect on this turn. I can just waste my turn. So considering that, I'm actually just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam here to try to break a possible Sash on the Flutter Mane and just get some chip damage. Because I think he might just go for Double Protect here to try to let the burn damage on this next turn get rid of me. The main reason I'm going Terra Water too is because sometimes they like to run the Tingloos like to run Rock Slide, I think. So it's gonna go Terra himself. Terra Fairy, okay. Actually, I wish I would have went for a Moonblast there. Moonblast would have actually did even more to the Tingloo. That actually did a solid amount. I didn't think it was going to do that much. I'm at +2 now, though. Dazzling Gleam. He's also reducing his own damage here, so like I should easily take that, and I do. So that's fine. This is why I'm running Covert Cloak right here. This is exactly why I'm running Covert Cloak on this. Because it'll stuff like Snarl and Icy Wind, they don't do anything to you. Like, you can kind of just shrug them off. That's his main check to this Volcarona. Like, he's like, oh man, now I have nothing for Volcarona. I don't know what to do. Now I go into the Chien-Pao here. I have Giga Drain, which is super effective on him here. But I don't know if it's really worth going for. It's at +2. I think I'm actually better off just going for Fiery Dance here if I'm being real onto the Flutter. And just going for Ice Spinner. Solid amount. I get the +1 boost. Rid of the Tingloo. That's kind of the main thing that's just hindering my damage. I think if the Tingloo wasn't on the field, I would have got the KO there. I'm Sash, so at least the Chien-Pao should stick around. This game's kind of wrapping up, it really is, because the Volcarona at this point in the game looks really good, and I can actually go for Giga Drain on this next turn onto the Flutter Mane. I think from this range I can just get the KO at +3 and get a shit ton of health back. And then if he actually attacks me here, I just go for Sucker Punch. If he protects, that's fine. It's a 1v3, he just surrenders. He knows he loses. He's like, yeah, there's no way I will win this. Not bad. Another really solid game. The Volcarona, we actually got a showcase of the Volcarona and why it's on this team. That's one of the reasons why right there. Perfectly showcased for that match. Able to just kind of freely set up, and the one thing he had for the Volcarona to kind of prevent it from doing what it wanted to do, which was Snarl, didn't even do anything to it because of the Covert Cloak, so. I bet I'll see you guys in one final game. Alright, we got another game. This is actually a really cool team. My opponent's actually running like a Rain team, and he actually has the middle evolution to Skeledirge. I forgot what that is. It's not Croconaw. I forgot what Froligator, or it's not Froligator. Froligator's the water one. I forgot what it's actually. I actually haven't not seen the middle evolution to Skeledirge so long that I forgot the name of it. We're gonna find out if he brings it, but he has Farigiraf, Pelipper, Tinkaton, Serena, and then Toxicroak, so. It's bringing the weather here too, so like I really want to bring Weezing, just mainly for that. I'm also Terra Dark. The reason why I'm on Terra Dark on this Weezing is mainly for Taunt, and it's also mainly for Calyrex, so they can't spam Psychic type moves, or for like Psychic types like Farigiraf, because otherwise they can't do shit to you. I think I just leave Weezing Regigigas here. It looks really, really good. If I need to go Terra Ghost for the Toxicroak, I can as well. Bring the Rayquaza. I don't really care if he has Farigiraf. Like, Dragon's Ascent outspeeds and like has a chance to 1 KO most Farigirafs if they're not defensive. So I don't really care, especially alongside the Chien-Pao. I think that's what I bring. I just bring the most common for this team. Depends what he wants to bring, because Rain is kind of scary, but like as long as I can keep the Rain away, it can kind of negate it. I think especially with the Rayquaza, the airlock can come through and get rid of the Rain. So It only works on the turn you send it out, though. So, like, if I'm already on the field and they have the Pelipper and they send it out, like, the rain's still gonna be up. He actually brings the Skeletor thing. I forgot the name of it. I don't even know what it's probably Eviolite. Don't know what the fuck it does, though. Or Crockler, I think that's what it is. If that's the actual name or not a nickname, that's what it is. Have not seen this in forever. First time seeing this on the ladder. I don't think I've seen this on the ladder before. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go for Will-O-Wisp onto the Tinkaton, then I'm going to predict a Fake Out here and just protect. Or a Will-O-Wisp and protect here. Fake Out, okay. Will-O-Wisp. So that makes the Tinkaton pretty much useless now, unless he's Lum. Or unless he's like a berry here to kind of cure this, but I don't think he is. He has Will-O-Wisp as well, so that's scary. So what I'm going to do on this next turn, we know the Wheezing outspeeds this, so I'm actually going to have to taunt him so I don't get Will-O-Wisp. I'm not really even worried about the Tinkaton because it's burned. It's really weak to begin with. I think the main problem with Tinkaton, like, it's a really good typing and has a really good move pool and everything, but like its stats are just not really the greatest. I think it has like 75 attack. I think that's which is really bad. And like being burned, it does nothing. So like I don't really even need to worry about it at this point in the game. I'm just gonna taunt Crockler here in this. I'm actually gonna go for knockoff. I could actually go for knockoff just to get rid of Eviolite if I really wanted to here, which I think I will. Baby doll eyes. That's a new one. I've never seen that on Tinkaton. That does nothing because of the attack drop. Okay. Get rid of its Eviolite. So we get a taunt. That's great. I could also taunt the Tinkaton if I really wanted to because he's just spamming Baby Doll Eyes. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. I need to start getting damage. I'm just going to start going for damage here on stuff. I'm not even afraid of the Tinkaton at all. I'm just going to get rid of the Crockler because I think it's even more of a threat than the Tinkaton is at this point in the game. Like, I actually kind of want to just leave the Tinkaton on the field and actually try to just, like, make it a 4v1 if I can. Just get rid of the rest of his team and double into whatever else he has on the field. It's going to withdraw. Does that mean he only has status moves? Is that what that means? He goes into the Frigoraph. I wish I would have went for knockoff. That would have been a play. He has knockoff too. Gets rid of my life orb, which kind of sucks. I just keep taunting. Like, I'm just going to taunt the Frigoraph here too, because he could just try to step Trick Room or go for Helping Hand shit. So that's what I'm going to do here as well, and I'm just going to go for knockoff. What this is going to come down to is, like, it's going to come down to the Rayquaza coming in late game and the Chimpow late game and just trying to set up, and then he actually Throat Spray, so he's offensive. He's going to try to start going for, just come in and start going for damage late game. That's what I'm going to try to do. Hyper Voice, it doesn't do really that much. This Tinkaton just knocked everything already, so like after knockoff, like what else do you really do to me? But I don't think it really even does anything else. I think I'm gonna Sludge Bomb here, and I'm actually gonna double into the Frigoraph here, just get rid of it because it's the thing that's holding me back from just being able to spam priority. So I need it out of here. Unfortunately, though, like I have nothing really for Tinkaton. Like I can't really do much to it. That does nothing. And like I can't really even touch the Tinkaton at all with the Wheezing, which kind of sucks, but I mean it doesn't really matter because he can't really do much to me either with him being burned. We know his entire moveset now too. He has Fake Out, Baby Doll Eyes, Knockoff, and Gigaton Hammer, so he doesn't even have a Fairy type move. I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp this Toxicroak, get this thing out of here. For Stomping Tantrum here. It's gonna withdraw the Tinkaton, okay. I'm fine with that, actually. I'm fine with that. Yeah, this thing is the rank master. He used this on the rank ladder, and he got a win with it. Okay. That's crazy. That's a solid amount. That does about half. Didn't think it was going to do that much. I'm actually going to taunt here. I think I can actually just stay in and just go for Stomping Tantrum, because I should outspeed him. He's not Scarf Toxic broke, so like I should outspeed. If he goes into Tinkaton, he's taking damage. So like he's kind of backed into a corner here, because like everything else that's on his team is weak to ground type moves. I don't know if the Crockler even has anything to do with it versus me. Like, it probably just has all status moves, maybe. He's really thinking about this. He's really thinking about this one. There ain't that much to think about, bud. He doesn't even know my last two mons either. Like, I've got Chien-Pao and Dragonite. He's helping hand, okay? I don't know if that matters unless you outspeed me. You don't. It's gonna be a roll whether I get the KO here, though. I get a low roll. I get the low roll. And I live on 2. Wow. I'm assuming this Crockler, like, all this thing is just, like, throw out Will-O-Wisp and just go for Helping Hand, like, fully supportive. It probably doesn't even have an attacking move, I'm assuming. I don't know, I'm gonna Sludge Bomb here. I'll just Sludge Bomb, and then I'm gonna go for Knockoff. It's gonna withdraw, so I'm gonna get a free knockoff onto the Tinkaton. Really ballsy play too, because if I would have went for Stomping Tantrum, he would have took a solid amount of damage here too. So now I'll get rid of his item. His Figgy Berry. Okay. Poison. I don't know if that really matters that much. At this point in the game, like, I think just Chien-Pao Dragonite, or not Chien-Pao Dragonite, I keep saying Dragon. It's Chien-Pao Rayquaza just comes in and kind of cleans up the game here. Mold Breaker. What I'm going to do on this turn is I'm actually going to Chien-Pao. Because I think he's going to want to try to go for Fake Out onto the Chien-Pao here. Just try to break my stash. That way I'm able to get more of an attack boost if I am able to attack with the Regigigas. Protect here to scout a Fake Out. And then I'm actually going to Stomping Tantrum the Tinkaton here. I don't know, the lower health everything he has, like the more the Rayquaza just comes in and just goes Terra Normal and kind of just cleans up the game, so I'm not really too worried about what he does here. He has a Terra, like he hasn't Terra'd yet all yet. He could have a crazy Terra waiting, but at this point in the game, like he's so low on health already and like he has no items, so he doesn't even go for Fake Out either. That's surprising. He lives. Snarl, it's fine. I have 2 plays I can make here. I can just get rid of the Tinkaton here, because I know it doesn't have Protect. But then I'm risking a burn on the Chien-Pao if he happens to survive. But I think that's kind of what I have to do here. I'm going to go for Sacred Sword. And then I'm just going to go for Stomping Tantrum onto the Crockler. He just surrenders. I don't think there's any way he wins. He doesn't even know my last mon, and he probably assumes, oh, well, if he has Chien-Pao, he probably has Rayquaza. He probably put 2 and 2 together there. Really cool team. I props to him if he happened to actually get a win on the Master Ball ladder with that shit. I don't think his team was really the greatest. I think it was really situational. It had to, like, everything had to really go incredibly well to make it work. He's got a really bad matchup into a team that just destroyed him. Especially with the Wheezing. Shutting down abilities on turn 1 there was also kind of crucial. I don't know. Granted, I guess his abilities really didn't matter that much. But I think Crockler's hidden ability, I think it's unaware, so I don't know if that really mattered that much either, but still. It was kind of a shitty first few turns there for him, kind of just a bad matchup overall into him. Or into me, at least, so not bad. Let's talk a little bit about this team. Alright, as for this team, if you guys want a really solid team to hit the ranked ladder with, I think this is a pretty solid team. Just a lot of really straightforward stuff that actually works really well together. You have a lot of checks to a lot of the most common restricteds being played currently. So, there's kind of everything on this team you can kind of do with, and kind of use, as long as you know what you're doing. Like, I think this team is another team that kind of, you need to know what you're really doing to kind of make it work. You gotta kind of play the team a little bit to get a grasp on what it really wants to do, and kind of like your good and bad matchups. So, I would try to just take this team onto like the casual ladder if you guys do want to use this team on ranked, for the ranked ladder to try to get to Master Ball tier. What I would do is just go onto the casual ladder, play like maybe like 5 or 10 games with this team, kind of feel how it plays, like your weaknesses and your good and bad matchups, and kind of overall what the team really does, and then hop into the ranked ladder once you kind of know how the team plays. I think that's kind of what you need to do with this one, because you kind of need to play it well to make it work. A lot of the matches you guys probably seen during this, I was playing my ass off, and I was playing really well. I even won against Sable Live VGC, and I did not think I was going to win versus him, because he's a really sweaty VGC player, and he probably plays way more than I do. He for sure does, at least recently. I haven't really been playing that much at all recently, so just kind of been playing with my own teams, and then a little bit on the ranked ladder, and that's all I've really been doing. So, but apart from that, if you guys want to use a team, let me know any feedback. Let me know how you guys do. Rental code in the corner, paste down below. I got a few more things for you guys on the way. Like I said, I'm just going to be trying to feature some really, like, some restricted teams around, like, some cool stuff that's, like, paired with some of the most common restricted that works really well. Or, like, some non-restricted Pokemon that are actually seeing a lot of play and, like, really unique usage for some certain reasons in the restricted format. Stuff like, there's, for example, like, Scarlet Reg is actually seeing a huge rise in usage because it's actually really good into Cryout and a few other things, so that'd be something I kind of maybe going to try to feature if I can find a team around that, or make my own team around it if I have enough motivation to. There's a few other things too that you're kind of seeing a lot more play that aren't restricted Pokemon, but they actually work really well in the format for like specific counters, like really well into like a lot of the top teams being played. So apart from that, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video, really appreciate it. I got a bunch more stuff on the way. I also do stream Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles over here. I'm going to probably start streaming those usually every Saturday or Sunday night over here on the channel. So if you guys do want to drop by over here, usually on Saturday nights, I'm going to try to start streaming that every week. So if you guys want to drop by, I'm going to be going on to the single battle ladder, not really like in-game, but like the 1v1 ladder. Not on like the battle spot ladder, but like the other in-game, I don't know what you really call it, but like the 1v1 battle 6v6 singles ladder, and I'm going to be going on there and just throwing some, just doing some singles matches for you guys on stream for like an hour or two, depending on how the stream goes. So if that interests you, feel free to drop by on Saturday nights. I also stream Apex Legends, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, Warframe, and a bunch of other stuff. So if that interests you, subscribe. Apart from that, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.